There is this massive lie that Global has done absolutely nothing to catch up to JP Dokkan, that the Global and JP sync hasn't even started, and while I do agree that Global hasn't been handling it the best, to say that nothing has been done is insane. I'm going to show you how wrong that statement is, and for those that are not even saying that, for those that maybe are not even aware of how close we are compared to previous years, you are going to see in this video how close we actually are. I'm going to put the Global and JP sync in perspective for you, but I do of course have to test your not worthiness, but your likeliness, your RNG, how basically RNGesus feels about you currently. Can you guess basically 1 out of 3 chance which box Beast Gohan is behind? Because if you can't guess a 1 out of 3 chance, how are you going to pull Beast Gohan, bro? Let's be real, right? So I'm basically just training your RNG here. Guess which box Beast Gohan is behind, and once you lock it in, you can't change it. None of that cheating stuff around here, alright? Now, if you guess it wrong, that means you got caught lacking today. We're the only Dokkan channel that makes sure that even if you're watching these videos, you're still getting stronger. So if you get it wrong, it means you got caught lacking. It means you got to drop down, give me 3 push-ups, all right? Give me a nice, bicep pump or chest pump, if you will. And since you got it wrong as well, you got to subscribe to the channel. It is what it is. But if you guess it right, that means, of course, that you don't have to like the video. You don't even have to subscribe. Just sit back, relax, grab some snacks. Shout out to Corey Kenshin. Let me go ahead and reveal which box Beast Gohan is behind. I'll give you 1 more second to pick a box, and don't lie, okay? If you picked the middle box, if you're eyeing this middle box, oh no, don't change. I said you can't change. If you're eyeing the middle box, you were absolutely wrong. Congratulations on your Spirit Bomb Tree of Might Goku here. If you picked the right box, congratulations, you're also wrong. That's Omega Shenron right there, which means if you picked the left box, congratulations, you got it right. You are on track to pulling Beast Gohan, because again, if you can get 1 out of 3, I can't, I don't know how your chances are looking like for Beast Gohan here. Just for fun at the end of the day. Anyways, you know what you gotta do if you got it wrong. If you got it right, congratulations. Let's hop into the video. So, let me show you some recent efforts that Global and JP have made, or Global has made to catch up to JP, and then I'm going to show you what that has translated into in terms of the following and upcoming schedule for Global. The one thing I want to mention is that World Tournament for Global and JP is now synced up. I understand that for Global it says the 51st, and for JP it says the 53rd, but what you need to really understand is in terms of content, what we receive from these celebrations, from these World Tournaments, we are literally caught up. JP, their last World Tournament, they got the EZAs for these 3 characters here, and that's exactly what we literally received here. We are literally on the same page when it comes to World Tournament, and we've never really been on the same page when it comes, not at least from my memory, we've never been on the same page for World Tournament. So when it comes to this, we are completely synced up. And then a bigger point I want to talk about is the end of May Dokkan Fest, which people really do forget, and has had a great impact on the schedule for Global compared to JP. Let me just give you a quick example. At the end of May in 2023, JP released a completely new Dokkan Fest tier list that we got in October, okay? Remember that when JP releases a completely new character, Global needs minimum 2 weeks in order to release that character, release all the content around that character, and then wait another week or so for another new banner to drop, right? Every time a character releases, Dokkan likes to release banners about every 2 weeks or so. So for every banner that JP releases that Global doesn't have, that's another 2 to 3 weeks that Global is going to be behind JP Dokkan, right? So 2023, just give you a quick example, we had October basically locked because Turles released. The year before that, we had the end of May Dokkan Fest Resurrection of Blues that dropped in November. And then the year before that, we had Kid Gohan drop at the end of May, and then 6th of October. This year, we don't have this problem. We're not going to we don't need this, because Rose Goku Black released on Global first, and then dropped in May. The end of May Dokkan Fest is a Dokkan Fest we already have, which means we are closer to this sync than you even realize. And this, just one character. How big of a deal is that? Let me show you. This is all the characters we were missing in 2023 after Global's anniversary. After Global's anniversary, we were still missing AGL Kale, which dropped right after the anniversary. We were still missing, and of course AGL Kale is the April Dokkan Fest, right? After that, we were missing Turles, which, like I just showed you, is the end of May Dokkan Fest. And then we were missing the Part 2 LR for Turles, which was the Spirit Bomb Goku here. That's 3 characters. And then after that, we were missing Tanabata, so Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as well as Omega Shenron. That's 5 banners right there that we were missing, but we're not done. Technically right after Global's anniversary, we got the banner that released these 2 characters here. Now, I'm including it because it literally happened right after Global's anniversary. We were still missing this, and at this time, AGL Kill had already dropped, but this just goes to show that even still in the month of August, that Global's anniversary just ended, they dropped yet another banner. We're gonna have to see what JP does this time around, but by the end of Global's anniversary this year, we're going to be missing Topo, which should drop at the end of the anniversary, or like after the anniversary ends. We're missing Cell Max, and then we're missing UI Goku and the newly released Jiren. This is the difference in schedule right now, and of course the main reason is because we do not have this this May Dokkan Fest that would make this list 5 units long. And I'll tell you this right now, JP, if they release a banner that introduces 2 new units at the end of August, then of course this is going to be looking like, let me just go ahead and duplicate this, right? You'll see that of course there's still going to be a lot of units. I mean, honestly, I can just delete this character here because all of these are individual banners, so they release together, but it just looks a lot worse than it really needs to be, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 banners. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously less. But if JP, which I don't know if they will, doesn't release this a new just summonable banner like that at the end of or sometime in August, we're looking at 4 banners compared to just 6 here. And these 2 of course are in one celebration. I don't know what they're going to do with Cell Max, and Topo of course will be releasing, should be releasing at the end of the anniversary. I just don't see Cell Max releasing in that usual Dokkan Fest slot that Global gets after the end of their anniversary. Honestly, let me know what you think, but would it be possible for them just to couple these 2 on the same banner? I think that would save us a lot of time. I mean, would we really be opposed to that? Let's say we got 3. Obviously, it's going to be a weird banner, and obviously they've never done that before. But if they really drop 2 new characters like this, imagine like the situation with the Gammas, right? Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 both dropping on the same banner. If they release these 2 on the same banner, which again is very unlikely, I don't really see it happening, but it would really help out with the efforts of the sync, because let's say post anniversary, let's say on the 5th of August, they release the banner that releases these 2 on the same banner, and they made like 3 rotations of a guaranteed featured or whatever. That could be pretty interesting, because after that, and then Worldwide takes place. I mean, Worldwide is already synced anyway, so after Worldwide, we're just missing these 2. Whereas last year after Worldwide, we were missing all of this. So, we are so much closer than last year. I would say like a month or 2 closer than last year. And since most of these celebrations are synced already, all it really is going to take is, and this has been my idea for a while, you could let me know what you think, but I think Global, and I know we've talked about this already, and they mentioned that the worldwide celebration will be the start of Global and JP being synced. I don't know if that's the start of like them really pushing the sync, or that means the versions of the game will be completely synced up, because if that's the case, I don't know how both versions will be completely synced up if we're still missing so many characters. So in my opinion, I think Global Dokkan should receive a lot of global first content. And by global first content, I don't mean characters. I mean one EZA for this character, one EZA for that character, missions for this event, missions for that event, a new free-to-play character, new free-to-play awakening, new free-to-play EZAs. Just a bunch of content that global can get And when Global starts to get this content that JP already has, instead of JP just being dead for a month or two, they can start releasing all of that content on JP. Yes, there isn't necessarily a new character coming, but honestly, I wouldn't be mad if every week Global got an EZA and new missions for this event, and then next week another new EZA and then missions for that event, and then a new free-to-play character with a new EZA and then like a new sub. Like, if there's a lot of content being rolled out on one version of the game, it's going to allow the other version of the game to breathe and to catch up that way. Because again, the content, like, this is cool and all, like world tournaments being caught up, this is cool, but this doesn't really mean like, this isn't like the craziest thing. It's notable to mention because, you know, this is, I think, the first time we've ever been synced up in terms of world tournaments. But the thing we really don't want is global first or JP first characters, because global, no matter what content releases, global and JP have this thing where a character needs to be by themselves or be released for at least a week and a half to 2 weeks before another new banner drops. Right? Whereas content, they can drop all content in one day if they really wanted to. So if Global were to get another global first character, that pushes everything back 2 weeks. But if Global gets 3 new exclusive EZAs, they can drop that on JP whenever they want. They can drop that all at once. They can time gate it and do once per week, once every 4 days, whatever the case is. It doesn't push anything back, right? Global first content in terms of EZAs, free-to-play characters, events, doesn't push anything back. But when it comes to these banners, it definitely will push things back, because they're not gonna have, and that's why people were saying, yo, I think they can release Cell Max in part 3 of the anniversary. That's just so much. Imagine Kale was anniversary. Imagine Kale and Turles was anniversary, and then part 2 was these two, right? Imagine them releasing all of this. Imagine part 1 anniversary was this, part 2 was this, part 3 was this. A week later we got Topo, and then 2 weeks later, like what, a week and a half later, we got this. This is literally in the span of 2 months. We got Dokkan Fest at Carnival, Dokkan Fest Carnival, Yellow Coin LR, Dokkan Fest, and then Dokkan Fest Carnival in the span of 2 months. That is insane. They can't. There's no way to space this, right? There's just no way to space that out. So we do not want completely new characters on these versions of the game, and releasing Jiren, for example, is pushing things back. Releasing UI Goku is pushing things back. Now, granted, these two are in the same celebration, so it's not that bad. But you know, it's still messy, and if they really wanted to, honestly, I would be a proponent of just putting these two on the same banner. Who cares, bro? Put these on the same banner, make the discounts really good, right? Incentivize people to summon for worldwide, make it 3 rotations of guaranteed featured multis, 2 double rates, right? And like, honestly, double rates and guaranteed feature on the last step for 3 rotations only. That sounds pretty fire. I don't know what the banner would look like. I don't know how that would work. I don't know what they'd call the banner, because you'd have a Dokkan Fest and a Yellow Coin LR on the same banner. I don't know how that would work, but who cares? Like, I know Topo is sought after. I know Cell Max is very, very, very good. But I mean, if you drop, like, here's the issue, right? If you drop, I did not mean to do that. If you drop Topo after anniversary, and then let's say these two were let's say these two are worldwide, right? So we have anniversary, then we have worldwide. Now we're still missing these two, as well as LR Cell Max. So who drops at one point, right? If October is Tanabata, now we still need Cell Max, and you think JP is just not going to do anything for the month of October, you know? So this is why I'm saying, let's say this was a schedule. If Global just gets a bunch of global first content, like a lot, like every 4 days we get an EZA, whatever the case is. After worldwide, while Global is getting this, JP could be getting an EZA every 4 days. A new free-to-play character every 2 weeks. You know, a bunch of new missions every 5 days. Release a bunch of content on JP that Global already has. Keep them busy, keep them happy, give them a bunch of stones to grind, while we're just getting all this content out of the way. And then before you know it, the last thing we're really missing is Cell Max. I don't know. Let me know what you think, though. Hopefully you enjoyed. As you can clearly see, the sync is definitely in, I'm not gonna say full swing, but to say that there's been nothing done is just, it's not even close to being true, right? We are only missing 4 banners, whereas last year around this time we were missing 6, and we we can say 5 because we don't know if JP is going to do anything after you know, Global's anniversary like they did with the 17 and Mamba banner. But even if it's the case, being one whole banner behind and being caught up on some events like that is still massive improvement. This is why I think that the Global and JP, like both versions of the game, will be completely synced by 2025. By completely, I mean everything. Every version has, or both versions has everything, right? Because I know, again, they mentioned worldwide would be synced, or both versions will be synced at that point, but it doesn't really make sense to me how we're going to be synced, and we're still missing 2 months worth of content. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what you think. Merry Christmas, and good night.